action. Let's face it, we all struggle with an intense homework load. Not just projects, but meaningless repetition of the same problems, done 500 different ways. And by the end of it, we don't want to do it for the simple fact that this one calculus problem takes 5 minutes to do, and we do 300 of them. We all loathe homework. We have to do. And most of our study habits are awful. This stems from our early schooling and how it's handled. Today I want to discuss why I believe that homework should be taken out of the school system for children not yet in junior high. I will cover the stress load it puts on the kids today, the bad study habits homework actually teaches, and what we can do to alleviate or even eliminate these problems. Kids today have more stress put on them than any other generation before them. In High School's Not Forever by Jane Bluestein, she notes how it's funny that the priorities of teachers don't match up with most middle school kids' priorities. When one kid was interviewed about homework, his frustration was obvious. He said, "My teachers act like their assignments are the only thing I have to do or think about. I've got so much other stuff going on, I can't concentrate on school. They hassle me and then I lose it, and then I get in trouble for acting out." He says, "I'm failing everything," and he gets sent to these alternative programs, and everyone thinks he's stupid. According to Duke University, Professor Harris Cooper, elementary students don't get any academic benefit from doing homework, except reading and basic skills practice, which is something they should be getting in class already. For high school kids, 2 hours is the maximum that they should be given. Anything after these times, their achievement actually goes down, according to several studies. Pediatrician T. Barry Brazelton recommends children ages 6 to 9 no more than 1 hour of homework a day. This is the same time period recommended for the amount that they should spend watching TV. He says the rest of it should be spent going outside and being active, being a kid. In fact, most of the countries with the highest scoring students on achievement tests, such as Japan, Denmark, and the Czech Republic, have teachers who assign little or even no homework. It seems like the more homework a nation's teachers assign, the worse that the grades that the children make are doing on these achievement tests, such as the TAKS or the ACT or the SAT. There's actually no research that shows that homework builds responsibility and good study habits. Rather, in a study done by Duke University led by Harris Cooper, they concluded that homework doesn't increase achievement, and often it decreases it instead. They concluded that homework does not increase achievement. I already read that. Many times children develop poor study habits when it comes to doing homework. Between surface skimming, the procrastination that they do, and sometimes waiting until the very last minute to do it, these habits form over and over and over again until it just becomes something that they're doing in high school and even today in college that these kids are doing. How many times have you actually sat down when you get home from class and have done the homework assigned for you? And how many times have you waited until the night before or even the day of, the morning, sitting there eating your breakfast to do it? This is something that we've learned since we've been kids, how to do our homework. Homework shouldn't be something that just teaches study habits. It teaches kids to study because they have to rather than they need to. It teaches kids that by doing the minimum amount that they do, they'll pass and they'll move on to the next subject or the next grade. Instead of do your homework as good as you can to the best of your abilities to make the best grade possible, because you want to have high grades so you can get into college and do something with your life. Similarly, this homework doesn't help these kids become hard workers because the work is not self-directed. They're not doing it themselves. Again, they're doing this homework because they have to do the homework, not because they want to. Hard work is a product of this motivation. It has to be an internal drive. But when you force a child to have to work on his or her own homework, that self-directed work and that self-drive is taken away. And instead, it's often seen as punishment. A simple solution to this problem would be to completely eliminate the homework. As multiple studies have shown, the homework for this age group, about ages 5 to 12, the elementary, junior high level, does nothing for boosting the material learned in class that same day. If a teacher or a parent really feels like the student is falling behind in class, or they feel like the student needs extra help, then it's the teacher's duty to look at each individual student and assign homework based on when they need it, depending on how they're doing. This would greatly decrease the stress, number one, put on all the kids. Let's say you have a kid who understands everything and he's just doing the same thing over and over and over again. It gets annoying and he doesn't want to do it, so he gets bored and just doesn't do it, which usually leads to detention or after-school tutorials because he didn't want to do his homework during class. Another suggestion would be to stop grading the homework based on percentage of, you got this correct and you got this wrong, and instead do it based upon you finished your homework, you tried to do it,